Hey guys, what's going on, and welcome back to the very not exclusive Star Wars news. And today we've got some really interesting things actually. We've got some new information relating to the Andor show and the Obi Wan Kenobi show. Something to do with Liam Neeson for the Obi Wan Kenobi show and Ben Mendelsohn for the Andor show. Some very exciting stuff, some rumours, some speculations, and yeah, so we got some really interesting things to talk about and discuss. I also watched Bad Batch last night. It's so good. I really implore you to go and watch the latest episode if you haven't yet. Obviously after this video, not before. Watch this video and then go watch the new episode of Bad Batch if you haven't already, because it is so good. But without further ado, let's get straight onto it and let's discuss what's been going on. So Liam Neeson was on Jimmy Kimmel Live this week to promote a new film he's starring in, called The Ice Road. And then during the interview, he got asked straight up whether he had been approached to come back to the Star Wars franchise. I don't think he mentioned in particular the Obi Wan Kenobi show, but just the Star Wars franchise in general. And then Liam Neeson said, "I heard Ewan McGregor was going to do a series. No, I don't think so. No, I haven't been approached." So here he kind of shuts down the rumours that he's in Obi Wan Kenobi. However, this isn't 100% a definite. This obviously could definitely mean, and it's a big indicator that he isn't, but to be honest, if he was in it, there is a good chance he will have been told by Lucasfilm that he is not allowed to mention his involvement, because if they wanted it out there, they would have just put him on the cast list when they released that with Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen and all that. So if they did want everyone to know that Liam Neeson was playing Qui-Gon Jinn in the new Obi-Wan Kenobi show, they would have just added him to the cast list because he's a big name and they want to promote it. So, and also because he said, "No, I don't think so. No, I haven't been approached." It's not like just a no, it's a "no, I don't think so." It's a bit of a, so maybe he has, maybe we're reading too much into this, he might not be. He says he isn't, but then again, you never know. There's been plenty of times where actors have said they aren't starring in things when they've been asked, when they actually are, because it's a legal agreement, or it's meant to be kept in the dark for a bit or something. It's meant to be a surprise, which if it is, then I'm all for it. I do not mind him saying he isn't in it if it's meant to be a surprise, because it means when we find out, when we see Qui-Gon Jinn in Obi Wan Kenobi show, if we do, it's even greater because we weren't expecting it. But it does seem like Liam Neeson, on the record, will not be in the Obi Wan Kenobi show. But after Liam Neeson made a joke saying that Lucasfilm and Disney couldn't afford him. But then Jimmy Kimmel, after he took him by his word, but he then later made a joke about how Liam Neeson's such a good actor, he could be lying and he wouldn't know. So you never know, he might be lying. It's not set in stone, it's not something where we can be like, yes, he's definitely not in it, but it does seem like the chances are he is not going to be in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, but if he is, they're definitely trying to keep it secret, and that's great, and we can always just wait and hope that he is actually in it, and this is all just to keep it secret, which would really be great. But at the moment, it doesn't look like he will be returning, but let's just keep our fingers crossed. If Liam Neeson was in the Obi Wan Kenobi show, chances are it would just be him as a Force ghost, Qui-Gon Jinn as a Force ghost. They could potentially do some flashbacks, however personally I don't see it. I think the flashbacks, if anything, will be more for Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin in the Clone Wars and things like that. I just really don't see them doing flashbacks of Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi. One, because it's so far back, it'll be a bit more difficult to do and harder to less convincing, although I would really love to see some Obi-Wan Kenobi flashbacks of him being taught by Qui-Gon Jinn. I think that'd be really cool if throughout the show they went through his whole experience as a Jedi, not only with Anakin, but his beginning with Qui-Gon Jinn and some of the things he taught him before he died. So I would really like to see flashbacks. However, I think it's more likely if he was in the show, it would just be him as a Force ghost or even just voices. But yeah, so that's that. If you want to go look at the interview, it's on YouTube, so you'll be able to find it somewhere there, and there's a small segment where they quickly talk about Star Wars and the franchise, so you can go check that out if you want. Also, if you want to check out the Obi Wan Kenobi, the cast list so far, I did a news video on it a month ago or something. You can go check that out. That says everyone. You got Ewan McGregor, Hayden Christensen, and all the other new actors who will be joining the franchise. So go check that out if you want to. But on to the next segment, which is about Ben Mendelsohn in the Andor show. So this next bit of news is a bit more confirmed. Again, everything like this is always a bit speculatory. You can never be 100% sure. However, the direct sources say this is, according to their sources, Ben Mendelsohn will return as Director Krennic in the Andor show. So we don't know what his role in the show is going to be. We don't know how much he's going to be in the show. It could be a few minutes. It could be a few episodes. We really don't know. However, according to their sources, he is going to be back in the show. Now, this is definitely likely. This does make sense. He's definitely got a place in the show. Every day that show seems to be becoming a lot more linked to Rogue One. With Forrest Whitaker, he's been confirmed to be taking his role as Saw Gerrera. So it seems like this is, all the time, this is becoming more and more closely linked to Rogue One. And it's obviously going to be very intertwined. And to make this even more likely and an even greater possibility, he is also starring in an upcoming other Disney Plus show. It's a Marvel Studios one called Secret Invasion. He's going to be playing someone called Skrull Talos. So he's obviously already in talks with Disney, and he's already been in the film before, so this is very likely. Obviously there's a lot of things pointing towards this and a lot of different elements factoring in, making it obviously very likely that he will be in it. I'm personally really happy about this because I really like Director Krennic in Rogue One. Not only did I love Rogue One is one of my favourite, probably it is my favourite new Star Wars film. I prefer it to the sequels, and although I really like Solo, I personally prefer it to Solo, A Star Wars Story, although I did also really like Solo. But Rogue One is definitely my favourite of the newer films. So I personally cannot wait to see him in the show. I thought Director Krennic was a really good character personally, and I just really liked his character in Rogue One. And seeing him in a show with Saw Gerrera and Cassian Andor will be so cool, and I cannot wait. And I cannot wait for the show in general. I think seeing right at the start of the rebellion forming, that sort of very early stage of the rebellion, will be really cool. What we're going to see of him, again, we don't know. It could be something to do with him when he's very new to the Empire. It could be explaining maybe how he got his role on the Death Star, making the Death Star. That could actually be a very likely possibility. It's him and showing him how he got appointed the role of one of the key creators and overseers of the Death Star's creation. Obviously in Rogue One we also saw flashbacks of him and Jyn Erso's father, so we've already seen a bit further back in the timeline, so somewhere in between that or even then we could definitely see it and it would all link together really nicely and definitely make a lot of sense. So that's it for today. We've got some really exciting news with Ben Mendelsohn, knowing that he is going to be coming to the Andor show. Liam Neeson kind of pushing away the rumours that he will be in the OBI WAN KENOBI show. However, we're not too sure still. Anything can happen. But I really hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And I'll catch you all in the next one.
Show me the one whose safety deems such destruction.